What's going on, guys? It's Isaac Walden. I'm the founder of 21 Media, located here in central Indiana. And today I'm going to show you something that you probably don't see often, and that is an actual build using AI that generates revenue. I make close to 10K a month just in AI platforms that I've sold and am actively running. And I'm just going to show you guys exactly what one of those tools are. If you want to follow and subscribe to the page, go ahead and do so. We're only showing real stuff here. We're not talking about the hype, and I'm not going to tell you that Claude Code just killed 100 different careers. I'm going to actually show you what I'm using daily to automate not only my business, but other people's businesses as well. So this was a project for a client. It was a public safety agency. I'm not going to get into exactly who. They have about 82 sworn officers, multiple rotating shifts, and they are actually in mid-transition to a completely new duty platform for their firearms. They were essentially just using pieces of paper and a notepad to write down, hey, this officer got this firearm, he was issued this firearm, so on and so forth. And they have about 400 firearms that they have to manage. And not only that, but they have to track training. Instructors have to track their hours. There's a lot of things that go into a agency like this and tracking all the stuff to stay compliant within the state, within any accreditation that they have, so on and so forth. What the real problem was is while they had to track those things, they weren't tracking it very well. And the biggest thing was because it was on pen and paper. Things that got switched, they had to notify a certain person that kept that master list. So this is an overview of what I built. It's a single source of truth for every single officer. Every single weapon is logged, is attached to that officer. There's an audit log, so any exchange that happens is audited, and the person that's running that program gets to see, hey, who made this change and why did they make this change? And they can keep an accountability system for, hey, this firearm was moved from an armory to an officer. What they were currently doing was every officer had to come in and sign a form. Well, each class had its own form, and if you were running training over multiple days, it was an absolute nightmare. So now they have it all digital where these officers can sign up for a class using their phone, and the instructor can then print out this complete state compliant form and hand it into their training coordinator. And it's super easy. You don't have papers flying around in the wind if you're outside or anything like that. And there's really no hiccups in trying to get this paperwork filed because it lives all inside of that system, and they can literally just click print and it just gives them that form. And even their training coordinator has access to it. So the instructors probably don't even have to do that anymore. They can just rely on the training coordinator to get the records that they need from the portal. Score entry. So another really big thing is keeping track of what the officers are actually scoring within their qualifications, within their trainings. This matters because if something were to happen, people can go back through and look at specific training records and say, oh, this officer performed great in this category, this category, this category, or vice versa, where they did not. So that stuff is extremely important with these agencies. The biggest thing that happened with this was not just putting it in a desktop app, but making it a Power Web app. So these guys can get on their phones, schedule themselves, which is really good because a lot of times these agencies aren't going to have actual computers that they're issuing out to the officers. A lot of times they'll have them in their vehicle, but those are installed in the vehicle, and it's not something that they can take outside of that. So having it on a phone was a really great touch. So kind of getting into the stack here. So we wrote it in React 19, TypeScript, and Vite. It's just kind of, it started out as one thing and led to another. So we started in Firebase, quickly moved it over to Vercel. We're still hosting everything in Firebase, and the authentication is still there, but eventually it'll probably get completely shifted over to Vercel, which is my main stack. And again, it's a PWA, installable on iOS, Android, anything that they need. That's why I like Power Web apps. You don't actually have to put it anywhere on the App Store. You can literally just throw it online and give a little install button, and they can click it, and it's right on their phone. It's super convenient. I don't know why anybody's actually using the App Store anymore. I would just always use this. This was that form that I was talking about. This is the Indiana Form 46167. Before, it was all handwritten. It says hand typed on there, but it was actually written, and they would sign it, and then they would send it in to get scanned into a whatever database they were keeping. I'm assuming it was probably just some like Microsoft folder that they had on their desktop. Now they can literally just click exactly what it was, the officers that were registered in the class and checked in. They can click print this PDF, and it gives them that exact form. There's an electronic signature box that goes in there as well, and they can just fill it out. Super convenient for them, and a massive upgrade. The master list, no more Excel sheets, which weren't being shared across all the people that were managing that. So now they have the ability to, all the instructors can get in there that have access to the firearms program. They can get in there and start logging, hey, this person got this gun and this person got this firearm, so on and so forth. And again, that audit trail, that's why it's so important, is because if somebody messes up in the portal, they can go back and say, oh, well, you were the one that moved it. Why did you move it? Which very well could have ended up just being a mistake. Every business has its own version of something like this, something that's extremely outdated, time consuming, doesn't even really make sense in 2026. And you, not only as the business owner, but maybe you're listening to this as somebody wanting to learn AI, you can solve this problem for them. And every single business has it. Go to any business that has ownership that might be even a little bit older, and you're 100% going to find this. One of the things that you need to look for is this business willing to learn? And I say that because I found businesses before where it was, we had one way of doing something and we started that way and we won't change it because they have a routine, they have a flow, and that's just the only way that they want to do it. And if you're trying to wedge yourself in with those businesses, it's just not going to work and you're going to get a lot of pushback. So find businesses that are willing to learn, willing to grow, willing to change things for the better of their business rather than stay at whatever cap that they're at. So here's the app itself. You can see that this is all just sample data. In the actual portal, they have these weapons that might have 6, might have 8, might have 10, depending on how many one officer is assigned. They have different locations where they have the weapons. So each weapon can be assigned to an officer. Think like a duty pistol. So they can get in here and see, okay, hey, Officer Reed here, that's in car number 12, is assigned a Glock 17. This is the serial number. It's given to the patrol. And if they have a specialty, they generally wanted that in there. So like they had a SWAT team and an honor guard that got special guns based off of that division that they're in. So they would tag those guns in there as well, just for better organization purposes. They can filter it by name, weapons, just different things, just ways to like quickly find stuff. They also have a search bar, so they can search by serial number. They can search by name, badge number, whatever filter that they really wanted to search in, they could do that here. They can add new records, so adding an officer or adding a weapon. Here they can see all the weapons that are in their inventory in total. The current client has about 400. In this demo environment, there's probably only 30 or 40, but they can get in here and they can move these firearms around. So let's say they have this, what would be probably a less lethal launcher, can be reassigned to somebody here right through the portal, and they can change the location. So if it's in patrol, I can put it in patrol, or they can be, assigned to that officer, right? Super easy for them. It's way better than the old Excel spreadsheet that they used to use. Again, you have all the different locations for these things. And then the audit trail, this is what's super important. If they moved something, they can check, okay, hey, so this serial number was moved and it was changed by this person that was in the portal. Training. So this was one of the big things that they needed was, this is how officers are now signing up for their training. So if they had a class, hey, Saturday, May 9th, and a lot of these times these classes are mandatory that they have to go to. You figure you have 80 to 90 cops, scheduling all of that as just one instructor is going to be a nightmare. So this gives the ability that officers can actually sign themselves up. They can put limits on how big the class can be. They can put different directions on, hey, when you get there, this is what you need to do, safety precautions, literally whatever they want in there they can do. Guys that are showing up for training, the way that works is it generates a link. So if we go back over here to training, we can batch link week of training, and we can generate a passcode, and it gives us a link. So we create this link, and boom, here it is, and the passcode. So you can literally just take this, copy it, send it into an email. Hey, everybody needs to sign up for X training on these days. Here's the link. Do it ASAP so we can get everything scheduled, coordinated, stuff like that. So super easy. It puts the scheduling no longer on one guy, but puts it on the rest of everybody else. And they can schedule for classes that they actually want to attend. Maybe they have a group of friends or whatever that all typically train together. They can kind of coordinate that and get themselves put in. Guys that do sign up, it shows here in the training. Instructors will come in here too. So if you have 5 days of training, you can't rely on just one instructor to sign up for all the classes. That would be an astronomical amount of hours. So they have the ability for instructors to come in here and go ahead and put in their assigned or what they prefer to be assigned slots for training that day. They can tick that and say, hey, this is what we have. And they can send that through a blast email or something to their whole agency and be good to go as far as, this is the schedule. If anybody needs to make changes, they're going to have to get back in there and make the changes themselves. There is an option to close registration. So let's say they have bigger days that they have to keep a tight schedule. They won't allow guys to sign up 10 minutes before, so they can close the scheduling however long prior to the actual event starting. So that's it. That's one of the things that's generating me revenue every month. If you want to go to this link here, you guys can get 5 free AI automations. These are just kind of ideas that I'm going to throw at you, things that you could automate for a business and generate revenue for yourself. Or if you're a business owner, these are 5 AI ideas that you can implement for your business today. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing, subscribe, like this video, go to my website, fill out an inquiry. We can do a free audit of your business and see what ways the AI could actually help you.